trying to
and you mentioned do you know the name of their candidates?
Well, I've forgotten, but I know. But I've forgotten. No, I've forgotten. There are so many candidates. You pardon me. There are so many. There are so many
what
candidates.
I'm trying to tell you that look in Borno State. I remember even the Speaker of the House of Assembly. At a point in time, everybody that wanted to contest against him in his constituency had to say, no, we are not contesting.
Even just like the governor, now, when doing the APC primaries, governorship primaries, there was a contender, but he was prevailed upon to step down for the government, even though he didn't, readily. But of course, right of first refusal as a matter of, principle and practice, I should have been given to the governor. Be that as it may, I think the governor, what I would look at is the humanitarian side of his style, trying to ensure that life goes on. Because for some of the governors we have seen in Nigeria, even in peaceful states,
some will be building,
even in peaceful states,
things, but then they lack that
humanitarian touch. And what exactly is he trying to do? You see the areas he's been talking about closing IDP camps. I mean, left to him, all these things should just be a thing
of the past. Someone believe in empowering people.
Of course, but the people, like somebody said, the people are the structure. The people are the society. If you don't touch base with the people, how do you intend, who are you even governing, by the way? But you see, many governors, they move around like imperial majesty. So they believe that with or without the people, the executive power, that's conferred on them makes them immune to anything. So even if their states are dotted with potholes and there's so much insecurity around, as long as they are covered in their bulletproof SUVs, life goes on. So that humanitarian thought, to ensure that education continues. But I think he should ensure too that wherever education can get to the people, it's not just for the mega schools. Any way that, if you go back to the time of Awolowo, you see, he tried to ensure that education was accessible to the people wherever they were.
I think with this new move of hiring teachers
directly from those places, but they should also be qualified. They should also be qualified. It should not be. Wow. It should not be a situation where I saw the photographs of the school. Of course, so that it should not. It's not just about getting teachers. It should make sure they are qualified. Then young people, it can also make use of one policy, a portion of the education policy in Nigeria, whereby even if it's secondary school holders, if they can be brushed up to take care of those little children, the basic education, let the little children be keyed into.
Dari, because when it comes to education in Nigeria, the reference points will be Edo States and Lagos States. There are parameters in which they use to measure this and everything, and the Obaseki success, if you want to replicate it across the country, and what Lagos State is doing with that, what's the name of this program? I remember this program. That they're doing, and if we can be very, very deliberate in terms of giving basic education across the border, making it accessible, like this governor is trying to do, I think it will go a long way to reduce many of our problems, banditry, criminality, and what have you in future. When they have that basic.
I can't agree with you less. And you were trying to remember a project in Lagos, Project Zero, where the state government is saying no child should be left on the street. No child of school age. And you need to know the success this has attained. It is because we don't measure government projects.
In Lagos State,
is fantastic.
People are leaving private school to go to public school.
You see how the government started.
But that's what should happen.
And that's what is happening.
People are even living
private
they have
schools.
The statistics.
You know what the government in Lagos State first did? Is to ensure that they as people can be proud of the public schools. Having attained that, it is still ongoing. There are still some schools that need attention. But the project started, then they decided that no child of school age should be on the street for no reason. Okay, your parents cannot afford it. I know how many primary schools I've taken to school, AY. Free. All I need to do is gather them in the various communities. There are platforms I put my number. If you find any child roaming the street, call me. And they've been calling. And I put them together, ask for the nearest primary school. We have the numbers of the people to call in Subeb. And I call the lady. And they will respond immediately. Where is the area? And when I mention it, they will send somebody. Pack all the children to school. Give them bags, uniforms, shoes, books. And they will trace the children home. They will follow them home to know their parents. Do you know what they did recently? Some of the parents were invited and accommodated for like 2 or 3 days, trained in skills, given some fund to start business. And I asked for the reason for that. And Honorable Alawiye, the chairman of it, told me that they are afraid that after some time, these parents will not be able to give those kids money for bike, and government effort to be defeated because they won't go to school. So what they have done is empower the parents to ensure that the children who were out of school stay in school. And over 2 million children have been returned to the classrooms through this project. That is the kind of thing this man in Borno is targeting. I will listen to one of his speeches, and he said, with this kind of thing, poor children can continue their Arabic learning and also be in school. He identified the problem of the Almajiri system. He identified the problem of having people who should go to school not going to school. He knows the security implication. He does not want to alter the people's belief. Yes, Islamic education.
I know.
But they should go to school too, and that's what he's doing.
In Lagos State now is as sophisticated as the syllabus, the course outlines, everything is on the palm top.
Yeah.
On the
It's online.
laptop.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
online,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
If you don't know, you have to
Yeah.
operate it. You have to
That's
know how to operate
that's
it
the
and
point.
everything
That's
before
the
you
point.
can even be
That's the
recruited
point where
as a
we
teacher.
should. That's the point where we should.
That's a
be.
co-excel.
That's
Co-excel.
that's the point where we
Co-excel,
should
that's the
be.
word, the
But
co-excel, yeah.
well, politicians, you will also need to upgrade the thinking of Nigerian politicians, because if they feel that it is not necessary, that they would rather dip their hands in the public treasury and pocket the money or move the money to bank accounts overseas, then you can bring in any program. It's just a matter of time. They will wreck it. So for me, even if Zulum cannot copy the Eco-Excel example now, but I think he should look at the model of Bafemi Awolowo, the educational model, and make sure that the education in a way gets to children wherever they are, as long as they are accessible. It must not just be mega school, because I said, yes, good man, good. Mega school, but what about those who cannot get to the mega school? You should reach out to them.
I know in the US, if you are a citizen, you're not a citizen, it's an offense to have a child of school age.
That's what the governor of Lagos State.
And they will call. Do
you know that's what they are saying in Lagos? If you find a child that is not in school, call us. We will go there first to beg the parents, release this child for us so that he can go to school, then to do the needful. So gradually we are getting there, because we have a set of people who understands what you and I are talking about. Like Emeka said, if you don't understand it, they are not ready to do it. We'll keep mounting it here. But the governor searched for somebody who can do it. He found an Alawiye who understands what it is to have roaming people on the island. He will tell you stories. And he says, no, the first thing to defeat is out of school children. Okay. Defeat that and we'll move forward.
Okay.
And he's doing it.
And that brings us to the end of the first half of Journalist Hangout. When we come back, we'll talk about ASUU, the protracted crisis in that sector. We'll be right back after this time out. Don't go away.
The federal government, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announces the availability of COVID-19 and childhood vaccines nationwide. With the disturbing increase in reported cases of COVID-19 infections across Nigeria, protect yourself and loved ones from the harmful virus by getting vaccinated. Visit the nearest public or private health facility and mass vaccination sites today to receive the first, second or booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are given to persons 18 years and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, while childhood vaccines are given to children from birth to 5 years for protection against polio, hepatitis, yellow fever, measles, meningitis, and other vaccines-preventable diseases. All vaccines are free, safe and effective. For inquiries, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700 220 1122.
This message is from NPH-CDA in partnership with the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from MacArthur Foundation.
Hello, it's nice to see you again. It's a good day at First Fountain Court. You know we love sharing our progress with you and taking you every step of the way. The last time we were here, electricals, POPs were ongoing, and today a whole new level has been unlocked, and we are very excited because we are currently painting our homes, tidying our homes, and if you look right there is the utility home, fresh water, clean water, and at the top of this is a gym house. We are really excited, and if you haven't subscribed to First Fountain Home, now is the time. Call the numbers on your screen or visit our website.
For more than 20 years, Betty, the Lagos Economic Summit, has contributed to the socio-economic and infrastructural development in Lagos State back to back. Some of the ideas from the previous Betty are what we now point to as the attractions of Lagos to the world. Here is another opportunity to discuss the advancement agenda of Lagos. Betty, the private sector-led participatory forum and incubating ground for the ideas that define Lagos, is holding from October 11th to 12th, 2022. Are you a business leader, a professional, an entrepreneur, an academic, a techie, or in any other category with Lagos on your mind? Register at www.enyigbettisummit.com to attend the summit holding at Eko Hotels and Suites, or to join Enyigbeti 2022 Summit online. Come forward with your thoughts. Let's set an implementable agenda for a greater Lagos.
Hangout, and I still have Dari Odufookon and Emeka Madunagu in the studio. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with us. Now, when a crisis festers, the tendency to take more dangerous dimensions is high. The ongoing strike by the members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, is living up to that billing. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, have blocked the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in protest over closure of universities for the past 7 months, with no end in sight. Students in the Southwest Zone barricaded the expressway at the Shagamu interchange in Ogun State, leading to gridlock on the ever-busy highway. Many motorists and passengers were left stranded. Are we helping ourselves? Yesterday we talked about the persistent gridlock in this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Now, motorists on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, they are not the federal government, they are not they are lecturers. Do you think it's right to take that protest?
I agree with the protesting students.
Okay.
Anyway, I am happy finally they are realizing that if they don't take their destiny in their own hand, they may be home forever.
But
I'll talk about our own days. I tell you, I've said it on this program before. This strike won't last this long. All we need to do, right from our own campus, we start strolling around the lecturers' quarters.
Amphitheater.
Then we start calling sessions upon sessions on campus, sending messages to those who should hear that we are tired. Then from there, we will move out. First, within the state's capitals. If it's more than a month, we will connect the various campuses, and before you know it, somebody will listen. Now, the students were home for 6 months, thereabout, because they were busy doing other things. BB Niger, Premiership, social media. It was as if the real victims of that struggle were not affected by it. I've said this severally on TV, that until the students decide to halt the strike, it may not come to an end. Now, AY, do you know the import of this? Both government and ASUU, we realize it is about to get out of hand. I have been saying it before, both parties must make sacrifices in the interest of the students. I support ASUU's demands. And I expect government to akin to their demands. But where it is still impossible today, for whatever reasons, is it the government is telling us that they have met all the conditions except no work, no pay. And as we saying, without you resolving no work, no pay, we'll not go back. No. Somebody must shift ground in the interest of the students. And I'm happy the students are making such demand too. That's it.
Most multinationals, if you want to seek admission into them, if you want to write, is it GMAT, GRE, TOEFL, if you want to write test, they will tell you that, okay, if you are above 26, 27, you are not eligible, for their entry level examination. And by the time ASUU will waste this kind of time, or the federal government, this crisis will waste their time, and it takes, most of them will not even be eligible to serve. At the end of the day, they are over 30 years.
If you're even talking of life after school, we're even talking of life in school. How many of them will be able to reconnect with their studies? Vice Chancellor last week said there are a number of equipment that will need to be recalibrated because of the strike. That even for studies to get back to normal, in certain maybe areas like engineering, pharmacy, medicine, it will take time because you have equipment, maybe reagents and all those things.
Moving their children from
public universities to private
universities.
But how sustainable is that? We like quick fix solutions. We move the children.
That's a selfish one. That's a selfish one. It's not the collective.
But we've even heard people talking about the standard. Is the standard being maintained in these private universities that graduate tons and tons of first-class graduates?
Of toddlers.
I mean, and so the point is, we should just look for sustainable solutions. And, of course, there's a peace team that said the National Assembly should critically look at the funding of universities. It should not just be giving universities pittances, giving vice chancellors pittances to run universities, but it should be in a holistic manner, such that schools gradually, there should be a kind of a roadmap that, gradually universities, polytechnics, colleges of education can be self-sustaining to a large extent. There's the argument that, you should win them off subventions, that many of them make a lot of money from IGR. There's the argument about IPPIS versus UTAS. But what even surprised me was government going to court when we thought that we are...
Okay, I have my first caller. Mark Ojuola is calling us from Bagada.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you for hanging out with us, Mark Oju.
Let's be realistic. If ASUU fails and government fails to pay their money, it is going to be difficult for anything as such to take place in Nigeria again. If ASUU comes in now, today, if government decides to pay their salary...
I barely hear Mark Ojuola. Maybe my producer will do something about
a lot of time.
The audio. Mark Ojuola, are you there?
So, government should just try as much as possible to pay their salary. They are not going to work for nothing. And it's not free. They are still going to cover the syllabus to make sure the student covers all what not is entitled. So please, we are appealing to federal government to pay the salaries of ASUU. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark Ojuola.
That issue of salary, what about those on sabbatical? What about those? I think government should, this sledgehammer approach to issues, it doesn't help matters. It doesn't matter, because with this court case, then we can just expect this strike to last another 6 months. I thought there should be conciliation. We can say God forbid, but the people who actually should sit down, these lecturers, and sort out these things, they are still in combative mode.
Going to the industrial courts, as in, I don't know.
A very wrong move. A very wrong move. And you see, we keep talking about reconciliation without sincerity from the parties involved. Yeah, give it to ASUU. They may probably be too insistent now, but they are acting based on past experiences.
Yes.
Where you just give you this, take leave this, later I will come back to this, and you never get to discuss those things again. And they are saying, look, these issues are not just about money alone. Let's get to the root of it all and save university education in Nigeria. And at the time when I felt that, the new person, the Minister for Education, drafted in is making some sense and progress, we heard about the court issue. I think we will not achieve the desired aim. What if ASUU insists that until the court resolves the issue, there should be no more discussion? And we know our legal system in Nigeria.
Or if the court says...
We have another caller. Ade is calling us from London. I think Ade is a regular.
Ayo, my greeting to everybody. You realize that a lecturer commits suicide in Benin recently because he cannot afford to pay the school fees of his 2 daughters. A lecturer, because there is no salary. That's the one we know. What of the one we don't know that are dying in silence? I think they should give trophy to Adamu. He deserves to be given a reward for coming to destroy our education in this government. Because look at the life of students going astray everywhere. You don't even know what is happening to them. Everybody just going about normal life. Their mates here are graduating here. You know, they bring their children, they graduate, they fly them first class back to Nigeria. I flew with them on many occasions that I saw them in the first class. He's a student who is paying for it. So only the poor are suffering. Everything just going normal in Nigeria. Nobody is saying anything.
Thank you.
Of the youth at
Thank you, Ade.
We are getting older.
Can we honestly legislate against people taking their children out?
I think, in a way, it will not be successful
Let's just face it together.
It's only through moral suasion. You cannot stop people from exercising their right of choice. But you see, Ade talked about somebody, a lecturer, a member of staff of a university that committed suicide. One lecturer, he was to become a professor in a university, died when he heard that government was talking about no work, no pay. He was on a sick bed, he died. And they said about maybe 15 or 16 lecturers like that in different universities have died. Now, if the court says, okay, revert to status quo, does the government think it will favor it? Yes, lecturers go back to, but if you look at what happened as at the last time it had negotiation with ASUU, where it promised that, okay, by such and such a time, we will continue.
And
so
nothing ever happened.
And so if you by rushing to court, you think lecturers are even leaving the system. En masse. Lecturers are leaving.
It was reported last week that
the same
supervisor, that the certain supervisor for student projects, final year student, he had to exit himself from that platform, and he said, I'm going abroad.
Because even the IPPIS, people have complained again and again about the IPPIS. Why not just listen? That is not effective. And that also it is open to manipulation. The Accountant General of Federation facing trial, was that not one of the things listed against him? And you are now still insisting that this system must be used. I think, you see, why people are giving positions of authority is because it is believed that they can exercise judgment in the overall interest of the people. But unfortunately, these ministers are...
Do you see this hurting the ruling party if they don't resolve this quickly? We are moving towards an election year.
I am actually not interested in what hurts or helps the ruling party. Sincerely, anyway. I'm not interested in what hurts or help the ruling party as far as this ASUU strike matter is concerned. I'm interested in what hurts or helps the students.
The children, yeah.
I'm not interested in what hurts or help ASUU even. Because this has dragged for too long. Sincerely. Pardon my sentiments. I am not interested whether at the end of the day, everything ASUU is asking for is given to them, or half or quarter. I am interested in seeing a resolution that will send our younger brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters back to school. By the time you ask for 26 years entry age for jobs, and you have kept them in school to be 30, many of them who did not know what Yahoo was now, they have mastered it during this period of staying at home. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from what I know. I read some stories. I saw a story of EFCC arresting some people, young undergraduates who had never been to Lagos before. And when the young man was questioned, he said he came from Kwara to Lagos to learn Yahoo Yahoo. He came to learn.
Wow. Thank you for joining us, Wale.
Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Wale.
Good evening, Ayo. Yeah, good evening, Ayo.
Yes, go ahead, please.
And then the other two members. Yes. Let me tell you the truth. Students are supposed to be the agents of change. Yeah. Let me give you my own experience. Thank God I'm still alive. You are the one that organized Ali Must Go in 1978. Unless you deal with this insensitive government, you can never get anything good out of them. Look, but how much were we paying by that time? I paid only 2,000 in the university to get a degree. By that time, nobody wanted to go. There was even no private university. Nobody wanted to go to state university because they were considered as inferior to federal. All these people are my age mates. I will be 70 December this year. Under the leadership, the Lord rest his soul, of that, what's his name again? He was in the College of Education in Jebode. He was the leader of NUN, National Union of Nigerian Students. Okay, well, and we were able to achieve a lot. Look, the man on your right was saying that they should legislate against public officers taking their children to abroad. The same set of people in the National Assembly who are supposed to legislate are in the forefront. All the children of the president attended school in Europe.
Thank you, Wale. Okay? Thank you, Wale. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Stay with us.
Hello, it's nice to see you again. It's a good day at First Fountain Court. You know we love sharing our progress with you and taking you every step of the way. The last time we were here, electricals, POPs were ongoing, and today a whole new level has been unlocked, and we are very excited because we are currently painting our homes, tiling our homes, and if you look right there is the utility home. Fresh water, clean water, and at the top of this is a gym house. We are really excited, and if you haven't subscribed to First Fountain Home, now is the time. Call the numbers on your screen or visit our website.
This blessing be yours, forever to keep a calm and peaceful sleep.
Removes mosquitoes so you can sleep a calm and peaceful sleep. Good night, Electric.
Thank you for staying with us. Reaching home stretch now. According to former American Vice President Hubert Humphrey, to err is human, to blame it on someone else is politics. Now, let's bring this home in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari has blamed the elites for not contributing to the development of the country, particularly in the fight against insecurity. Speaking in Owerri, Imo State capital on Tuesday, President Buhari said Nigeria has not recorded the expected development because of inability of the elites to assist the country. Emeka.
Well, President Muhammadu Buhari is the chief elite in Nigeria. He's the number one elite in Nigeria. So if he's saying the elite, of course, he should look in the mirror and then look at the people around him. What's the quality of people he has put into his administration in the last over 7 years? I mean, what has been their output? What have they really done to assist the nation? We know he had to take the outcry of Nigerians for him to change service chiefs, for him to do certain things. Even up till now, we still have issues of insecurity. So, what is the way forward? We can. His tenure is almost ended, so we cannot be still using the blame game. The blame game is outdated. I think right now President Buhari should be on the home stretch. He should be talking about his legacies for the future. Because if you keep blaming the elite, it's the elite who emerge in the power circles.
How about elders that are silent? Let's say like the Southeast. Now, we know people are going around causing mayhem, burning, properties and everything, and you tag them as unknown gunmen, and the elders are keeping quiet.
Yeah, the elders keeping quiet. They have been talking. They've met with President Muhammadu Buhari. How many times? They've met him. They've proffered solutions, even led by a 92-year-old First Republic Minister of Aviation, Chief Mbazulika Amechi. They've been talking. And you know the interesting thing. Okay, look at the other time. The country home of President of Ohanese, yes, George Obiozo, was burned down. Just the other day, a serving senator, was attacked. People keep talking. Yes, people have been talking. Okay, what about in the Northwest, in the Northeast, in different places? People are talking. But you see, there must be clearly thought out policies for government to show the people that it's ready to listen to them. It's not just about blaming the elite. Have you also listened to them? People have profiled solutions. Look at the ASUU strike we just talked about. People have profiled solutions, written papers, position papers sent to government, but all these things are done. Look at the Kuje prison jailbreak. There was a report that DSS sent how many reports, compared how many reports. Nobody acted on those reports till that jailbreak. So what else do you want them to do? They've talked, written position papers, and government closes his ears. What should these people do again?
Dari, what do you make of President Buhari's statement?
Well, he spoke like the man who is in charge, who knows what is happening, and who wants to tell us that he needs help. I'm happy with the statement. For once, Mr. President is owning up that his efforts are not enough to curb insecurity, and he needs help. He wants Nigerian elites to help him. I think we should just give him the benefit of doubt that maybe finally he's coming to the realization that he would need more than just himself and his service chiefs to solve the problem. I agree with him that if we have the elites or Nigerians generally doing more in the fight against insecurity, how? The bandits in the north, the kidnappers in the south, they are not aliens. They live among the people. Yeah. So if we put more effort in identifying and telling on them, maybe it will help the fight against insecurity. Then the DSS, perhaps if they also improve in their information gathering efforts, and they work more proactively, moving ahead of incidents, not waiting to mop up consequences. Then maybe that will help. Also, look at what is happening in Lagos. The neighborhood watch scheme is paying off. Criminalities, especially those neighborhood criminalities, are reducing because these guys with their bicycles and staying at junctions, they notice people roaming and they quickly alert security operatives, and it's paying off. Sometimes some of these guys are arrested and they are searched, and incriminating materials are found on them before they carry out their intention. So I think if more hands are actually on deck to fight these insecurities, if the emirs, the district heads, the village chiefs in the north will tell on those boys and men who are known, because over there they are known bandits. They get chieftaincy titles
Well,
for being by this.
one of them was.
If you tell on them early, if you collaborate with security, and down here, if the landlords, the CDAs, and other stakeholders will also speak up, not just collect money from known criminals for community development and keep quiet about what they do. Many armed robbers have been arrested in communities around there in the south, and we discovered that they are respected people in certain communities. Whereas some people know what they do, and nobody, skewed on them. So I think the president is actually telling us we need to
agree with that Mr. President is not so wrong by saying.
I didn't say it's wrong. No, maybe you didn't get me right. I said when you talk about the elite, he's the number one elite. Yes. So that begins with just like the change matter. Change begins with you.
Also, if you do more.
Yes, the president has met with
those who collect proceeds from bandits.
Yes, the president has met with traditional rulers. How many times? He has met with elders of different descriptions.
Or he's telling us that religious leaders are not doing enough.
That is it.
And so you need to speak out.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to reprimand your
people.
That is something also about action.
Not give them chieftaincy title.
If there are those members of the elite who identified supporters or participants in crime, they should be deleted. They should be removed from the elite and dealt with.
Thrown in prison if possible.
Don't deodorize criminals because they occupy important positions, they are wealthy, or people think they are respectable, and you know they are criminals. Please treat them as criminals so that you will
march towards the 2023 election. Hopefully we'll be able to achieve peace and stability across the country so that we can have a kind of election that will be the true reflection of what our people want.
You said the word hopefully. That's what we want. And that's exactly what Nigeria deserves. You see, this country, the people especially have suffered enough.
Too much.
We should begin to have some things that will actually make us happy. It won't be out of place if we start rejoicing that we had an election and it was. Let's even have reason. Anyway, so that it will not always be about japa. Let's have reason to even want to stay. So I think the security operatives and other stakeholders in the electoral process should work hard to ensure that we have a playing field that will give us something we will all be happy about.
Yeah.
All right. I will thank you.
Thank you very much.
Emeka Madunago.
Thank you very
much. Should I add that to your name?
Well, of course, but not part of the criminal elite.
He's one of the elites now.
And proprietor
the president was talking to you.
Well, thank you. And that's our offering today. Yeah. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. And don't forget to join us this Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday from all our DSTV platform and other satellite platform from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Journalist Hangout on Sunday. You don't want to miss that. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. God bless Nigeria.
Oh, wow. My typical day is filled with meetings, consultations, and of course, traffic